we're going to have a look at simple if statements. An if statement is a logical test. Okay, so we're going to be looking at the values in specific cells, and we're going to ask, do they meet certain criteria? And if they do, something will happen. If they don't, something might not happen, or something else might happen. So for example, do my sales agents, have they met their targets? If they've met their target, they're going to get paid commission. If they haven't met their target, they will not get paid commission. If my income figure is greater than my expenditure figure for a particular month, then I've made a profit. If it's not, then I haven't made a profit. Okay. If I get paid on Friday night, despite the fact that it's lockdown, okay, if I get paid, I can go out. If I don't get paid, I have to stay in. Okay, so it's a logical test. So let me just share my screen, pull up a file that I already have, and we'll have a quick look at it. Okay, so I've got some golf scores here, and I want to work out whether the scores for each of my players are under or over par. Okay, so if you're a golfer, you'll know that each golf course has a par score, which is what we should get round the course in. So the par for this particular course is 65. I want to use cell B13 within the if statement, and I want to be able to drag it down to column C. Okay, so what I've done is I've already named the cell par. Okay, so remember I just typed into the name box, placed B13 with par and hit enter. Okay, so where I get my to insert a function, okay, so the function is from here, fx on the home tab, or you can go into formulas and you can say insert function and pick it up from there. Okay, but normally you're on your home tab anyway, so I just pick it up from here, the fx next to the formula bar. So when I click on fx, okay, you get a category to select from, and then you'll get in this dialog box a list of all the functions that meet that criteria. I will tell you now that your if statement should always be within the most recently used, which is what it defaults to, okay? If it doesn't, okay, you will find it under the logical section, okay? And you just pick it up from there. Once you've used it once from there, it will always appear in your most recently used. Okay, so I want to check, is the values in column B, okay, the scores for my players, are any of them, for instance, greater than par? Okay, so there's lots of different logics we can use. Okay, everybody's logic's slightly different than the next person's. Okay, so I'm going to kind of mash things round about a little bit and with some examples here so that you can see different ways of achieving the same outcome. Okay, but I don't want to confuse you too much. Okay, so my logic would be if the figure in B2 is greater than par, okay, then it is over par or under par. Okay, so that's my logic. Your logic might be if the figure in B2 is less than 65, then the value of true would be under and the value of false would be over. Okay, so back to the first example I gave. My logic is the figure in B2, okay, greater than the figure in B13 par. Okay, so we've got 3 lines here in our dialog box. So the test is the first line, so that's what we're testing. Is the value in this cell greater than the value in that cell? Value of true is simply, if it's higher than 65, then it's over par, and if it's not, then it's under par. Okay, I didn't type in the double quotes. Okay, Excel puts that in automatically for me. Okay, so I've just typed in B2 greater than par as a test. And if it is greater than 65, then it's over par or under par. Okay, just click on OK. You can see the formula up here as well. Okay, so if you've made a spelling mistake or anything, you can just click into the formula bar and change it from there. Or again, anytime you can just go back into FX. You don't have to delete the formula and start the whole thing again. Okay, so if I had put B2 instead of B6 or something like that, I would just come in here and change it automatically. Okay, so just click OK, use my little fill handle and drag the formula down. Okay, it's as simple as that. Okay, so let's have a look at the column D. What I'm going to do here, if they are less than par, if they're under par, I'm going to give them my players a prize, okay, of £100. So I'm going to click into D2. I'm going to pull up the insert function again. There it is. I'm going to go back to my most recently used, so you'll see there, it's sitting there waiting for me. Double click on that. So the logical test, okay, they're going to get a prize if B2 is less than par. Okay, so one way we can do it, I'm going to say there. So I'm going back to B2. Is B2 less than this time? My cell B13, which is called par. If it is less, value of true is they're going to get a prize of £100. And value of false is 0. Okay, they're not getting anything. Click on OK. Now what you can also see appearing here in the logical test, if it already meets the criteria, in here we'd say true. Okay, but because B2 is not less, 66 is not less than 65, I'm getting the text over here on the right hand side of the dialog box as false. Don't think if you get false that you've put in a wrong test. Okay, it's just telling me that it doesn't meet the criteria. Okay, if you've done something wrong, it'll be in there, red, bold, saying invalid. Okay, so that you know that your logical test is wrong. So false just means that the criteria within B2 is not less than 65. Okay, so I can click on OK here again and drag it down. Okay, and you can see quite clearly that anything that is over 65 is not getting a prize. Okay, so I worked on the process there, okay, going back to column B. I could also have used the information in column C, okay, so let's delete that out, and you can see there, let's make a note, the only people that are getting a £100 prize are in row 5 and 8, okay, so I'm going to delete this out, and I'm going to use the information now from column C instead. So, into D2, pick up the fx, pick up if. The logical test this time is going to be if the value in cell C2 equals under. Okay, now this time, because I've put text within the logical test line, I have to type the quotes. Okay, that's the only time you have to type the quotes anywhere within this dialog box, is if it's in a piece of text and it's in the logical test line. Okay, because remember, Excel's based on numeric data, and it doesn't do calculations based on text. Okay, so I've had to say is C2 equals, and I've got under in quotes. Okay, so again, value of true, if it is under par, they're going to get £100, and again, value of false, they'll get 0. Click OK, drag it down. Okay, and again, the only two people that are getting a prize of £100 are Stevens and Forsyth, rows 5 and rows 8. Okay, so two different ways of getting to the same end result. Okay, I could mix it up and mash it up even more. I could actually have said if C2 equals over, then value of true would be 0 and value of false would be 100. Okay, so you've got kind of lots of different ways. Just think of your different logic. Okay, there's lots of ways of getting to the same answer, and no one way is any more correct than the other. Okay, so let's have a look at discount. Okay, again, we're going to give anybody who has anybody who's under par is going to get 10% discount. I was going to say 100% there, which is going to give them whatever they're buying in my shop for nothing. So I'm not going to do that. So again, let's have a look at insert a function. Okay, so let's go back to B2. If B2, what did I say? If B2 is less than par, then we're going to get a 10% discount, or we're going to get nothing. Click OK. So we know that the only two people that are going to get a 10% discount, again, are Stevens and Forsyth in row 5 and row 8. Okay, again, we could have used the information in C2. So let's delete that out. And this time I'm going to say if C2 equals under, okay, then again, they're going to get 10%, or they're going to get big fat 0. Okay, and we can populate it down, and again, you can see that we're getting 10% discount just for the two people who are have got prize money or are under par, or their values on their scores are less than the 65 in B13. Okay, that's example number 1. I'm going to give you another file shortly for example number 2. Thank you.